When people have seen some of the disgusting sex education materials prepared for use in Scottish schools, people often ask, who writes this stuff? Who's responsible for this? Well, let's meet one of the people. Here we are on the government's RSHP, Relationship, Sexual Health, Parenthood, Education website. Let's see who you contact. Two people, and the second one, Nicky Coia. Right, Nicky works for an NHS board. Here he is. He was responsible for this event about men who have sex with men. So he's got a particular interest in or affinity with LGBT issues. He's got a YouTube channel as well, as it happens, and he's been in various heavy metal bands over the years. This is from 2015. A band who's in. Here's another one, 2016. Frontman Nicky Coia. As usual, Nicky was shirtless throughout the interview. Here's an online album from them. Here are their tracks. Track number 1, Cannibalism. Track number 2, Anthem of the Burning Damned. This band, what pages does their Facebook page like? Well, you can read the bottom one for yourself. Let's go on with a musical journey with him. Here he is singing Satan's Disco. Now, obviously, I'm not going to criticise Nicky for having different taste in music from myself. But the song there, Satan's Disco, and he's making this sign, which is traditionally seen as a sort of satanic symbol. What's he mean by that? I mean, that video was quite a while ago. But this is from the Facebook page of the band he's been in 2015. We've got an Easter egg, obviously a Christian symbol, and on it is an inverted cross, which is basically a satanic symbol. Now, Nicky might well have no supernatural beliefs. Maybe he doesn't believe in a sort of evil, supernatural being. But at the very least, Satan can be seen as a mythological figure embodying evil. So why would you want to be associating yourself with an embodiment of evil? At the very least, that is showing a distinct anti-Christian view in his band. So we can assume that that's with Nicky as well. Now let's see what Nicky does in his professional life. I wonder if this anti-Christian side comes out with him. Oh, Scottish Catholic Observer. West of Scotland Health Board complains about chastity school speaker. A Catholic school brought in a speaker that promoted sexual abstinence until marriage. That would be the view that I hold. Someone complained about it. I wonder who that could have been. Nicky Coia, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde's Principal Health Improvement Officer. Right, here's another run-in with the Christian Church as well. Scottish Catholic Observer. Officials seek apology from Health Board over Catholic school comments. So someone from a health board making very aggressive and hostile comments about sex education in Catholic schools. I wonder who that could have been. Nicky Coia. There he is. Now, Nicky's got a Facebook page and Twitter account. This is the image from his Twitter account. I'm not sure what to make of that. But both of those are completely locked down. You can't see anything in it at all unless you know him. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know anyone else who has that on their Facebook and Twitter. I'm quite happy for people to see things on mine. But obviously, he is not. Anyway, moving on. Let's now see Nicky speaking in a committee in the Scottish Parliament, sharing his expertise and values about sexual health.
So it should be framed in a way that's about wanting better for the young person. I want better for you. I want you to want better for yourself.
So what does Nicky do to get away from it all when he's not busy imposing his values on our children? Well, one time he went to a zombie walk. think we can see that Nicky is drawn towards things that are dark, towards representations of evil, and towards imagery that's overtly anti-Christian. Now, if that was in a 15-year-old boy at school having a rebellious phase, okay, fair enough. But if someone carries that into adulthood, I'd be a little bit concerned about that. But the Scottish political educational establishment, they look at Nicky and think this is just the man to look to for moral leadership in the area of sex education. Now, my experience in Scotland was I was hounded repeatedly by Education Scotland while I was teaching. The inspectors would come into my school, they'd say to the headmaster, oh, we're a bit concerned about Richard Lucas, we're a bit concerned about his values, we're a bit concerned about his online profile. What are you going to do about him? Whereas with Nicky Coia, they hand him the reins and say, take sex education in your direction. So Education Scotland endorses the promotion of perverted pornography in schools through the RSHP resources, and yet they tried to undermine my career at every opportunity. I suppose in the light of that, I'm quite proud of. So, Nicky, if you watch this, if you do want to debate any of it, I'd be very happy to do that. But I suspect you'll probably think, why bother? You've got all the power and influence. Why bother discussing with other people? Now, the last thing I want to do on this video is just to show some clicking through to the resources, because quite a few people won't believe that they're actually the official resources produced by the Scottish Government. So I don't know how much plainer I can make it to convince people, but here we go. So here we are, RSHP.scot, Relationship, Sexual Health and Parenthood. So about the resource, let's go down here. The RSHP resource is managed by a partnership of NHS boards, local authorities, Education Scotland, the Scottish Government's education agency, the Scottish Government and third sector agencies, which are mainly sock puppet charities, I would imagine. More information, Nicky Coia, etc. So this is the official resource, Education Scotland, Scottish Government. Now here we have the materials in different levels. Let's go to what I've been looking at recently. The senior phase, for example, the last video I made was about the ones about pornography. So I've now clicked to download the PowerPoint presentation for the lesson plan. So here it is. Here is the lesson. Let's go to the second slide. WTF. I mean, what is the matter with these people? Do they really think that's the sort of language you want in schools? Obviously it is. Anyway, so let's click on the video. So this is what you just show to the class.
Hey you, my name is Thomas Scott Ridgell, and pornography is as fun to watch as...
And you'll see that's what I featured in the last video. And after the last video I put up about this, someone commented underneath saying, who can we write to? And a lot of people, the first thing you think about when there's a problem with politicians, you think, oh, I write to my MSP, I complain to them, I go and see them. Our line is, really, it's probably not worth bothering. We don't need to write to the MSPs, we need to change them. What the political parties in Holyrood have learnt is that they can go through all sorts of outrageous policy decisions like this. I mean, here, promoting pornography in schools is just pretty bizarre, but they think we can get away with it. People will write to us, they'll get in a huff, they'll make a bit of noise, but don't worry, come to election day, they'll vote for us in any case. We've got to tell them that actually they're wrong. People are not going to vote for you anymore. People instead are going to vote for what they believe in. I mean, this issue about the sex education, this should be being brought up as question 1 of First Minister's questions. Let's see Nicola Sturgeon put on the spot to justify the promotion of perverted pornography in schools. And if you want to see that sort of thing happening, if you want to fight back against the political establishment in Scotland, then you need to support the Scottish Family Party. And the best way you can do that is by joining us right now via the link below. Thanks for watching.